I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Shall lead them to buy our merch. This song is brought to you by our good friend Al Wakator, or Al.
The Wakator.
Al is the, right? Mm-hmm. The Wakator. So tell us, what did the Wakator want for a song review, Sori?
Okay, he said he's doing a concept from the drummer of Dream Theater named Mike Portnoy.
Portnoy.
I don't know. Portnoy?
The Wacky Tour, not the Wakator.
The Wacky Tour.
The Wacky Tour. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so this is the next song, The Glass Prison. So.
What do you mean the next song? Has he done one before?
Oh yeah, the Wacky Tour has done lots of songs with us.
That's true. He has.
Yes, he has. Okay, so this one is The Glass Prison. I've actually been super excited to hear that.
It looks like a lot of people are super excited all of a
Because
sudden for some reason.
The Glass Prison sounds like an intriguing.
Well, you like the concepts of like prisons and being trapped and afraid and terrified.
What is wrong with you?
You do.
I like it.
I think so. All right.
Please just start the song.
We'll start the song. Ben Webb has decided that I've got terrible taste in music, so there's that. This is Dream Theater, The Glass Prison. Let's go.
reach of the past, a shattered glass prison wall behind me. For past, walking through the ash, a distant oasis before me. Desperate, crawling on my knees,
Golly. Woo!
Wow.
That was
Fun.
Progressive rock.
Yes, I am definitely a progressive person.
Yeah, you're a giant prog head. Me,
Yes, I
not
like it.
Me, not so much.
You didn't enjoy it?
Well, the thing. Okay, so it's a 13-minute song.
You have terrible taste.
I'm not a very.
You have no taste in music.
I'm not a very big prog guy. Just.
Well, anytime I don't agree with your thing, you're like, Sori has no taste in music, so now it's my turn. It's my turn.
Yeah.
You have no taste. You have no taste. It went all over the place. It was fun. There were parts where I felt like I was in, the shop where they fix our vehicle and I was under a vehicle. Then there was just like other things where I just felt like I was running backwards through space and time. Like there was so many things to experience in this song. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though.
Yeah.
There was a part where he sounded suicidal. Where is that part?
Oh, it's the big homie Khaled. Khaled.
Hi.
Sori is correct. You have no taste. Yeah, man. I just not into prog, man. I just. Go ahead. Talk to the people.
So are you? Well, lyrically, oh man, It sounds. First of all, is this a lot about religion and how religion makes people feel?
I don't know. I think it was like he was like trying to embrace religion.
Well, at the end,
because he's like, I'm trying. He said I was trying to believe or whatever. So
Yeah.
it didn't look like he was against religion.
Well,
it looked like he was trying to use this.
He wants to
looked
go
like
to a
he's trying
safe
to
place to
use-
forget about his daily sins.
Yeah, that's not.
But then at the
religion's-
end,
that's
it
not
seemed
religion's
like-
fault.
Cry desperate, crawling on my knees, begging God to please stop this insanity. Help me, I'm trying to believe. Stop wallowing in my own self-pity.
Yeah, so he's trying to. Yeah, he's saying he's trying to believe. You know, that's. We were just talking about that with Bart Ehrman.
Help me return to humanity.
Like Bart Ehrman's got this. It's a shtick. Is I'm revealing the stuff that your pastor won't tell you about textual variants or whatever, blah blah blah. But I was watching a debate with him, and he was talking about the problem of evil, and same thing with Charles Templeton. That was the other thing. Problem of evil, got to him, and it's a real problem, and that people struggle with, that everybody struggles with if they're paying attention. I mean, I don't know how you could be a person of any sort of conscience or anything that isn't taken by the problem of evil at some point in your life.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
It looks like it sounded like a little bit like 12-steppish to me a little bit.
Oh. He says, cunning, baffling, powerful, been beaten to a pulp, vigorous, irresistible, sick and tired and laid low, dominating, invisible, blackout, loss of control, overwhelming, unquenchable. I am powerless, have to let go. I can't escape it. It leaves me frail and worn, can no longer take it. Senses tattered and torn. Hopeless surrender, obsessions got me beat. Losing the will to live, admitting complete defeat. Fatal descent, spinning around, I've gone too far to turn back around. Desperate attempt, stop the progression at any length, lift this obsession. Crawling to my glass prison, a place where no one knows. My secret lonely world begins. So much safer here, a place where I can go to forget about my daily sins. Life here in my glass prison, a place I once called home, fall in nocturnal bliss again. Chasing a long-lost friend I no longer can control, just waiting for this hopelessness to end. Run fast from the wreckage of the past, a shattered glass prison wall behind me. Fight past walking through the ashes, a distant oasis before me. Cry desperate, crawling on my knees, begging God to please stop this insanity. Help me, I'm trying to believe. Stop wallowing in my own self-pity. We've been waiting for you, my friend. The writing's been on the wall. All it takes is a little faith. You know you're the same as us all. Help me, I can't. That was a quote.
That sounds like, hey, like you go to the 12-step group and they're like, hey, you're one of us now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, or church.
Yeah. Yeah.
Help me, I can't break out of this prison all alone. Save me, I'm drowning and I'm hopeless on my own. Heal me, I can't restore my sanity alone. Enter the door, desperate, fighting no more. Help me restore to my sanity at this temple of hope. I need to learn, teach me how, sorrow to burn. Help me return to humanity. I'll be fearless and thorough to enter this temple of hope. Believe, transcend the pain, living the I'm sorry if you guys don't want to hear the whole thing. I want to read it, so I'm going to. Humility opened my eyes, this new odyssey of rigorous honesty. Serenity I never knew, soundness of mind helped me to find.
That's like the serenity prayer.
Yep. Courage, the change, all the things. Oh, courage. Well, they said the change, but it means to change all the things that I can. That's that prayer.
That's the serenity prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll help you perform this miracle, but you must set your past free. You dug the hole, but you can't bury your soul. Opened your mind and you will see. Help me, I can't break out of this prison all alone. Save me, I'm drowning and I'm helpless on my own. Heal me, I can't restore my sanity alone. Way off in the distance, I saw the door I tried to open. I tried forcing with all my will and still the door would not open. Unable to trust in my faith, I turned and walked away. I looked around, felt a chill in the air, took my will and turned it over. The glass prison which once held me is now gone. A long lost fortress, armed only with liberty and the key of my willingness. Fell down on my knees and prayed, thy will be done. I turned around, saw light shining through. The door was wide open. It's good. I very much like the read.
Yeah, I mean, it's lyrically, I was following it and I was definitely vibing with it lyrically. Sonically, look, there were 13 minutes that you had to choose from, and I mean that in a good way, because it just, like I said, the song had some really cool moments where I was like, holy moly, but like as a whole, it was kind of like, I don't know. It's one of the things that gets me about prog sometimes. It's like, look how virtuoso I am with this instrument. It's like, I get it, but did we need like the DJ scratching and then the emergency? Like I
My thing is, sometimes I wish
too
that
much.
I read the lyrics and then listened to the song, because now I know what the song's about. I know this journey that this guy is on, and so I'd like to rehear that journey with the music beside it.
True.
Because I've said it before. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in if you are kind of have a creative mind, and you, like, when I hear the sound of the song, I'm picturing something in my head, but at the same time I'm still trying to see the lyrics, but I want to go on my own journey, but then I won't even know what the frig the lyrics are about. So like, if I read the lyrics first, but again, if you read the lyrics first, then you miss the journey you would have taken. Well, I would miss the journey I would have taken.
No, I
know.
1,000,000,000% agree with that. I agree with you there, for sure. It's just, but again,
I
there
like
were
this
parts
fight in the song that he was having.
There's I don't
It's
know what you
real.
call that. I don't know what you call that part in the guitar. Like, remember when I was re-stringing the guitar and there was that little thing?
The little
Yeah, he was playing that. He was playing that as part of the song, and it was like, he logically put it together. There was notes and everything, and that blew me away. I
didn't even notice that part.
Yeah, like I know. I'm like, wow, because I remember the first time I got guitar, like, you're touching everything. And like,
Yeah.
I asked Ralph, I'm like, okay, what does this part do? He's like, oh, it just makes cool sounds. It's not really anything. Like, nobody
Yeah.
uses it.
Right.
And we were playing new metal at the time, so definitely nobody was using it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked the song. I felt like it was, I just don't, I don't know. I don't think it took, did it need 13 minutes? Like, did we have to do all those I don't know.
Yes.
But it's not a bad song.
We
It's a
needed
good
it.
song. I'm gonna like rate it highly because I understand solid musicianship when I see it, and I understand what he was talking about. And lyrically here, like, he talks about, the humility, and then the
like, this guy's a giant rock star who plays in front of thousands of people. And he's got to go to this 12-step program. Like, that's somebody who's like, I'm going to prioritize, like, what's real over the bullshit. You know, a lot of these, like, famous people, they always go to some, like, special camp with other famous people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand. I think there's something about, I think that there is, like, I understand that part of it. Like, being around people that understand the unique exigencies of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, being around a bunch of people who don't have the common human experience, like, I don't think so I'm picturing that he's in some, you know, rundown church or whatever in his 12-step group, and he's getting some help, and I think that that's good. And I think it's very important for people to know, like, you need to get help. Like, you're in a situation you can't overcome that shit, man. Get help. Do whatever you need to do. Talk to people, whatever. Like, it's important. But a lot of people, you just wonder, like, how many people would be here today if they just reached out for the help. You know, like, it's mind-boggling to me that people are literally dead because they were too proud to ask for help. That's all. That literally is the difference between life and death, is you were just too proud to ask for help. Holy moly.
Well, I think that sometimes it's about pride, but I do think that there are other times where you have lost all your hope. And that's what he said in the song. Like, there was no hope that was left. And so he's saying, like, he says in there, save me, I'm drowning, I'm hopeless on my own. Heal me, I can't restore my sanity alone. So he's feeling crazy, and he doesn't know how to get out of that situation, where to go, who to, but he's at least at a place where he says, look, I can't do this on my own, I need the help. You know, there are some people that you get so hopeless and so deep in that dark hole that you literally think there's no way out except to die. So that's why I think if you're starting to feel those effects, you're starting to feel that heaviness on your soul, you're starting to kind of feel like you're losing yourself, get help. Don't wait. It's never too late unless you're dead. So if you're not dead, there is hope for you. You can get help out there. But you have to reach out for it, because there's lots of people that would love to throw you a line. They just don't know that you need one.
Yeah, I would agree with that, you know, to a degree. But, you know, when people say things like, oh, you having religion as a crutch. You know, we've talked about this before, having religion as a crutch. Of course I do. Of course. Jesus, and he tells us as much to be a crutch. When you tell a person, you tell your friend, you can lean on me, you're telling your friend, I will be your crutch. Like, this concept that because you need your one of the benefits of religion is that you have an emotional crutch, that therefore invalidates the religion, is one of the strangest ideas to me. Like, most of us count our friendships by that in specific. Like, most of us count, most of us, like, you know, people talk about they turn corners in relationships. And when you look at each other and you know, like, okay, like especially where I came from, every dude had that moment where, like, that's your guy, that's your man. And it usually has to do with some sort of, you know, corporate suffering that happens. And the mutual, you know, reliance of your friends depending on you and you depending on them. So when people say, like, oh, you're just religion.
Is this true?
You're just using religion as a crutch.
Our screen is black.
I don't know.
No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, when people say, oh, religion's a crutch, blah blah blah, like, I say, sure. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But, like, people, I think that it's supposed to, like, it's designed to make you feel bad about yourself or something like that. Oh, you needed a crutch. You weren't as strong as the rest of us. I guess it's supposed to be the idea, but, you know, I have no problem saying, okay, I'm not as strong as the rest of you. Congratulations.
Yeah, but I don't even think that entire thing is, I feel like it's just dishonest, because, you know, I remember before I went to any live shows, and I never saw any shows. I wasn't allowed to watch MTV. It was very restricted what I was allowed to see. We couldn't even watch Disney, for God's sake. So, like, when I went to my first rock show, I was like, are you friggin' serious? Everybody's got their hands raised. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
It's like a church service.
Like, literally, for years of my life, people would make fun of the fact that churches raise their hands. Why are people raising their hands like they're, like, what are they doing? And now I'm like, wait a minute. You mean wait a minute. All of these secular people had this understanding. I didn't have it because my life was so...
Yeah,
lived in a bubble.
Cloistered in a monastery.
But it's like, how could they have come to me with that? Like, if I...
Come to you with what?
Why come to me with saying, wow, you guys raise your hands in church? Why would you do that? When people know they go to shows and raise their hands all over the place.
Yeah.
That's such a bizarre thing to me. So that was like so crazy to me. And the crutch thing is just another one of those for me. Because you can call it a crutch. You can, whatever gets you through the day, like literally everybody has something that gets them through the day. When you have a hard day, when you have
the people that don't end up dead.
Yeah.
So
when you have a
hope
hard
you have
day,
something.
You're thinking about going home and having something or doing something. You have a release. Everybody has releases. Something that is their chill space, something that brings them a bit of peace in a troubled world. So that, to me, like, now that I realize, wait a minute, this person, it's their weed. That person, it's their music. That person, it's driving their motorcycle fast. That person, it's the burger they're going to eat when they get out of work. You know, everybody has something. Some people, it's a friend that they want to chat with. There's so many things that everybody has something that they're going to lean onto for a bit of comfort and a bit of peace. And if you don't, like Vin said, you will land dead. You'll die. You have to have a release. You have to have something to lean on. So to me, it's just simply dishonest to make it look like, wow, look at these Christians leaning on the God of the universe for you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure it's dishonesty as much as it is a lack of self-awareness, and that's why I'm so big on self-awareness.
Yeah.
And people and self-interrogation, right? Where you say to yourself, why is it that leaning on a friend as a crutch is okay, or leaning on a band as a crutch is okay? I mean, I've seen people worship these people in bands as if they're the Pope, and I understand why. Mm-hmm. That person just articulated what you've been going through your entire life. But all of us, I mean, good night. Most of you, your relationship is your crutch.
Or a YouTube channel.
You're demanding way too much of your partner, man, because you're trying to have your partner fill the gap of God, and anytime he or she doesn't meet your insane expectations and needs, you go crazy on them. Mm-hmm. That's because you're using them as a crutch. The problem is that you're not a bad person for doing that. The problem is that your soul is too heavy to carry.
Yeah.
You know, and we've said you know, those are important and I even have those conversations with my kids. You know, Dorian, like, life is very easy for me because Dorian is really big on my approval. Mm-hmm. And every parent knows how to leverage your kid's desire for approval to get them to control their behavior. I'm like, Dorian, man. Because I'm a big crutch for Dorian, which that's okay. I'm his dad. I'll substitute for God for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I tell him, like, Dorian, man, there's going to come a day I'm not going to be here. He's like, we're not talking about that. I'm like, no, we're going to talk about it, bro. Like, I'm not going to be here one day. You got to learn to trust God, and you got to learn to, you know, the big thing about being a parent and being a husband is to prepare your family to live without you. And that's what Jesus did. Like, he met him. He got him, he taught him, and then the last quarter of his ministry was about prepping him to live life without him. And without him in the sense of him physically being here, reliance on the Holy Spirit and the carried presence of the Father and the Son through the Holy Spirit. But you get the point. He wasn't physically going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, my thing is, okay, if we're all using a crutch, I want to make sure that crutch is it's damn good one.
It's the best damn crutch around, yeah. Exactly.
Because I look this going through this journey that we call the universe or whatever it is, you're 50,000 feet in the air on a tightrope with crutches. That's life. So you better have a damn good crutch, because the odds are stacked against you. So you better have a crutch. And if you're silly enough to try to walk this thing by yourself, good night. We'll see you at the bottom. There's no net. So, Pride is a real killer, and a lack of self-awareness will kill you. Like like in our crew, the big thing, like my guys is obviously this crazy self-reliance. Mm-hmm. And I was in a situation where, people used to say I was indestructible. Because I always came back clean. Mm-hmm. So you start to believe the hype. Well, on my last go around, it wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. And you've seen me in like we're careening off the road or something, and I'm like, this is not good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I generally don't get like frazzled. But just because somebody doesn't get frazzled doesn't mean they don't need help. So I'm up there with the big homie Scoot. Shout out to the homie. I said, he looked at me and he said, this is not a good situation. And I said, nope, it's not a good situation. And we said what we said to each other or whatever. But I needed his help. I wouldn't have got, for better or worse, you guys would have had the channel, one for the homie. Because,
Yeah.
my ankle was fucked up. I wasn't going nowhere. It's just one of those things where I'm laughing about it now, but it's funny now. I think about it. Like, I had never got hurt ever, not once. Not once. And I've never been the same since that one. And it was my last one, so what can you do? You went out with a bang, inshallah. But yeah, which dovetails into this one. Christ not being able to carry his own cross all the way is probably the most empowering thing for humans. This font is so beautiful, but
it's impractical.
It's massively impractical.
And the other thing is, you think it's beautiful because you know cursive.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even teach cursive anymore. So there's people on our channel can't even read that, some of them.
Yeah. But this
people our age.
It's an important thing. So I'm gonna put it back on there and change the color. Notice how Sori is right there with me and always encouraging. Christ not being able to carry his own cross all the way is probably the most empowering thing for a human. Because if God in flesh can do something by himself, how can we? We gotta rely. Whoa, that's it. Period. That's good. That's good. And that is what I mean when I say it's the little details of the Bible that have saved my life.
Smart, yeah.
Especially considering it was a black guy, he was a Cyrene. Mm-hmm. So, but no, that is so true. That is so true, and it's those little details about the Bible that are massively powerful, and that is a very big powerful one. And if God in the flesh even allowed it to be recorded that he fell, that's the other thing. Like, he allowed it to be recorded that he fell so that we could read it. Like, that is important. Like, that's saying something. And so, that's a very, 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 very good point.
So when he says, take up your cross and follow after me, does he mean take up your cross in the sense of Christ or in the sense of that man that took the cross for him?
Well, I think take up your cross and follow me, probably the most direct
is your own personal cross?
Your own personal cross and walking your race. But I think what's helpful about considering the take up your cross with the the incident where Jesus needed help carrying his cross is the concept that you have got to do it in a community. Mm-hmm. So even though it's singular, take up your cross and follow me, when it gets practically worked out, what we see is Jesus carried his cross, but there were stations along the way where he needed help.
Yeah.
And that is important.
Yep.
And so, to his point, I mean, if this is God in the flesh and he needed help, here you are running around talking about you don't need any help. You're dumb as a box of rocks. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it. Shout out to Khalid, man. Khalid is one of the original homies from way back in the day. Yeah, so very important points in the song. Amazing points in the song. That's why I said I'm going to rank it very highly for the lyrical effort here. And honestly, if we really, really dug into it, we could do a 5 hour.
Oh, yeah.
5 hour.
Even I agree with that. There's so many that I'm like, what the how could you talk that long on that? But this one we could talk for a very long time on. This is actually an 11 for me.
Whoa.
Because you guys know how I get down. If it's something that I can apply spiritually to my life, then yeah. And it was just wonderfully done. Plus, you know me, I love being trapped.
Yeah.
According to Vin. No.
Yeah, I mean,
Blasphemy.
lyrically, the song was saying something very important.
Yeah.
Things like chasing a long lost friend I can no longer control. I have a hard time judging this song because it's the first listen. It's a 13-minute song, and honestly, it's a musical masterpiece. It really is, because he was I don't know if you noticed, but he's contrasting some very grimy, dirty riffage that's very simple, two-finger stuff.
Yep.
With the... And he was doing that like throughout the song, so it wasn't all just look at me. I'm doing a masterclass in combining all these modes. Like, that's not what was happening. Like, so I understand that. So my decision is gonna be a solid 8.8.
Wow.
Solid 8.8.
Just not sure we should keep going with the channel anymore then.
Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it here first.
Okay.
We're done.
Somebody asked, Blake? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Somebody asked why I was giving an 11, if that was for the music or the lyrics. So for me, the lyrics are the 11. Musical content is a 9.8 for me, but it's an 11 because it was a spiritual experience. So.
I see. I didn't have that experience. Still a very good song. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.